The big question is not whether or not New Zealand will win. It is actually if Argentina might find a way to pull this one out. Starting with Argentina, we need to take into consideration what has come before this game, just to give a realistic picture of their chances. In 2007, they made it to the semi-finals, sadly lost, but they picked up a bronze medal. That was actually the catalyst for getting them into the rugby championships. Then, in 2015, semi-finalists, lost that semi-final, but they also lost in the bronze medal playoff against South Africa. But the important thing should be remembered. Sanchez actually scored the most points in the tournament with 97 in that year. So just a little something to remember for later in the video. They've also grown in stature at this World Cup, and they bring a ruthless amount of physicality with their game. They might lack some flair, but with what they miss out on that side, they've got on the physical side. So if they want to give themselves a chance, there are two things that they need to do, in my opinion. The first one is play Sanchez. I know he's not the youngest of the fly-offs, not the most exciting of the fly-offs in some regards, but when the chances present themselves, you have to take the chances. And Argentina are going to kick themselves if they lose by 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and there were a few penalties on offer that they weren't able to successfully take. That is where somebody like a Sanchez comes in and can be a match winner. The second one is they can't afford to have a soft moment. Against New Zealand, if you have a soft moment, that is when they punish you. So they absorb pressure continuously, and when you go soft, just for those 2-3 minutes, they score twice. And that is the kind of thing that this Argentinian team needs to be aware of. They need to play for at least 80 minutes with complete focus. And I say at least 80 minutes because those couple of seconds at the end of each half also will come into the equation here. Realistically, though, that will only give them a chance because the team on the other side is New Zealand. And this New Zealand team is moving away from just being New Zealand and getting back to being the All Blacks that you used to. And you could see that Argentina are now probably going to be the victims of a New Zealand team that has kind of taken that next step. They are in that mood. And throughout the tournament and throughout the past couple of weeks, New Zealand have grown in confidence, and you can see that they have a few scores to settle. So the first one that they had to settle is Ireland beat them recently in a series last year. That score was settled. They have won with Argentina, who beat them for the first time just a few years ago, and have now actually done it twice. So they're up against Argentina now. They also have a 28-year grudge that comes on the back of a certain final that was played in South Africa against South Africa, where they weren't happy with the outcome, and there were many reasons for it. They have also been knocked out of the last World Cup a little unceremoniously when England humiliated them in New Zealand terms. So there's definitely some unsettled business here. On the back of the resurgence of Sam Cane and the unwavering passion that Ardie Savea brings to any matchup, that forward pack is going to be something that is going to be very difficult to stop. The problem is, if they start firing, that very dangerous backline comes into play. And when they start firing, I don't know where you're going to try to start and stop this team. The problem is, if you shift your focus too much to the forwards, the backs will punish you. If you shift it to the backs, the forwards will punish you. They've got runners all around. And I think in the end, depending on the valiance of the Argentinians, they might push it close, just lose by a point or 2 or 4 or 5. But I think the more realistic one is that the All Blacks are going to really get in that mood. And when they get into that mood, it's probably going to be a winning margin of about 15 to 20 points.